Hi, my name's Courtney. I couldn't look at myself after what happened to me after plastic surgery. One shady doctor turned me into Frankenstein's monster. Since my childhood, I've dreamed of being smoking hot, changing my name, leaving home, and starring in motion pictures. I know, every little girl wishes that, but I wasn't just waiting for some genie to grant me my wish. I was attending every casting opportunity I had. My mom was very supportive of my goals. Actually, she encouraged me to pursue this path after I got a small part in a local TV ad. She kept driving me to every casting call until I got my driver's license. My parents gave me their second car. I was 16. I had money and a car. I was at the top of my game. I was gloating. My mom couldn't stop telling everyone she met all about me. Sometimes I felt like I was her only child, and my poor sister Linda didn't exist. Well, she was 13 at the time, so I wasn't too interested in her existence either. My best friend at the time was Jeannie. She was 18 and already had some big screen experience. I hoped to be like her soon. But then, at one of the auditions, a director made a comment that led me down a path with no return. He said to my mom that my nose was quite big, and if I wanted to get more gigs in showbiz, I should get a nose job. It was just an innocent professional opinion, but I heard it, and it stuck with me for the next few weeks. I had no new offers, and it got under my skin. My mom suggested that I should get that cosmetic surgery. I wasn't keen on the idea. I wanted to talk it over. But Mom, your nose looks just like mine. Yeah, and you don't see me on magazine covers or on the silver screen, do you? Let Mom help you, and you'll thank me later when we're living in Beverly Hills. I figured my mom knew best. I went online and found that there's no age limit to when you can have surgery. I did some research about it. If only I had focused more on the right topics. But I looked for a price range that we could afford instead of checking the surgeon's credentials and expertise. So I went to this budget clinic. The people around me looked like the stuff of nightmares. I could bet my life I saw a rat, or at least a rat-sized roach. And to make it cartoonish level creepy, at the end of a corridor, a light was blinking. I thought that at any moment, the walls would fall down and Ashton would appear screaming that I got punked. But sadly, I was only startled by the surgeon that came to greet me himself instead of the receptionist, because he was just renting the operation room and staff. I would have run away, but I had paid the $4,000 that Mom gave me in advance. After a few weeks, the bandages came off, and the swelling passed. Both nostrils were different shapes, and cartilage was sticking out. It was bad. I saw it, my mom saw it, even the surgeon saw it. We got into an argument. He was trying to wiggle out of the situation, said it will heal in time. My mom fought like a lioness for her cub. So, in the end, he agreed to do a correctional operation in 3 months. At least nobody saw me at school, 'cause I dropped out. I couldn't go back the way I looked. I couldn't even hide it with movie star shades. It was my nose. It stuck out like a sore thumb. Well, sore nose. My mom acted like my agent. Obviously, she was forced to decline all my photo shoot proposals in the meantime. She got irritated and cold with me. I became very anxious, started smoking excessively. Soon, the phone calls died out. That's showbiz for you. Mom caught me smoking, so I stopped that vice, but picked up another. I started stress eating. Then I noticed my weight gain. My mom gave me diet pills to control my munchies. I was on pins and needles from how much I wanted to go under the knife as soon as possible. Those 6 months were super tense. Yeah, 6 months. Because after the initial 3 months, the surgeon went on vacation to some European country to operate there. I thought he had just fled the country. Sadly, he didn't. This time, there was even less staff in the room. He applied the anesthesia himself, and only local. It was painful, but at least I knew he wasn't adding me to the human centipede. To top it all off, he answered a call mid-operation and walked out. For 20 minutes, I was just sitting there in a room with faceless people. I felt like I was in a dream, but it was just the beginning of a nightmare. My nose looked a mess. I started smoking again. A few weeks passed, it started healing, but at the tip, the skin started going black and smelling bad, and it got inflamed. We visited my Jack the Ripper. This time, he got defensive. He claimed it was my mistake that I was using pills and smoking, and now he was washing his hands of it. My mom stood silent. When we walked out, I asked her, "Why didn't you say anything?" "What's the point? You did this to yourself. I just hope Linda will be smarter than you." I I just cried. We went to the real hospital. I got diagnosed with necrosis in my skin. In other words, my skin cells began to die. They cut away that part so I wouldn't die. My nose was ruined. After that, I kind of wished they would have let me die. I stayed at home with my curtains closed all day. Only appropriate living like a vampire when you look like one. I started drinking the blood of Christ because smoking doesn't suit staying inside all day. But this time I didn't have any appetite, so my weight stabilized. Yay. But why even bother with existence if no one will ever love me because I'm a monster? Linda tried to speak with me a few times, but I screamed to get out of my room. My mom didn't even pretend that she cared how I felt. Now I didn't exist to her. To keep my mind off those dark thoughts, my father brought me his DVD collection. I started to binge watch sci-fi movies, from old Star Wars to the newer Alien franchise and all the other boomer stuff, except for that Wizard franchise, because it was hitting too close to home. I thought everybody at school must have been referring to me the same as she who must not be named. Then I came across Cloud Atlas and was interested in how they managed to change the actors so much. So I Googled and watched a bunch of how-to videos on YouTube. You wouldn't believe what it's possible to achieve these days. And I learned how to mask my nose and change my features using only makeup and prosthetics. I loved it. I went to the local mall and nobody recognized me or stared at me. I got so confident that I met with my friend Jeannie from the good old days on photo shoot sets. She was now on some teenage vampire series spin-off of a spin-off. You aren't gonna believe what happened next. No, I wasn't cast as a vampire. With Jeannie's help, I got a job as an assistant on set to a makeup artist. It was a short stay, but I really enjoyed it, and I got a call a month later and was invited to help her with her next project. As soon as I signed the contract, I rented out my own place, and I took Linda to live with me. I didn't want her to end up like me, chasing mom's dreams. In almost a year, I managed to save up the necessary sum for a new operation in a decent clinic. It was 3 times as much, but it was worth it. Now, my nose is better than it was, but worse than in the beginning. As they say, be careful what you wish for, because my wish came true. I am working in the movies. I will soon change my name, not because I will star in them, but because my boyfriend says I am smoking hot and he would like to marry me.